Hey, what's going on, guys? This is B from Kongs R Us, and welcome to The Next Level. This is my weekly podcast show where I bring you next level guests, community members that have done awesome, talented things. And I'm so excited for today's show. I have two awesome guests today. We got 30 people that are in the house waiting patiently. Bobby Broadway's here, Hollywood Polo's here. I see some other folks in chat. George Aguilar, the Garage Gamer. Thanks everybody for joining up. I really appreciate your time here. So in the next 45 minutes to an hour, we're going to be talking all things Outrun plus shooting cabs, which is a huge thing that many people are wanting to get into. And I'm going to bring on my first guest because I've dubbed him the hashtag Gun King because he has probably, for me personally, one of the best custom shooting cabs that he's put together and skinned it as an Aliens theme using AimTraks and building his own playlist. And so my first guest, Brad Diederichs, and I don't even know if I said your last name right. I'm going to bring Brad on just to ask. Hey, Brad, how's it going, man? Hey, how's it going? I can't hear you quite well. I don't know if your audio's on. Is your audio on? Test, 1, 2. Can you guys hear Brad? Yeah? Let's check his audio, see. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe my audio's off. All right, let's just double check. My microphone is the PTZ. Yes. Good. All right, maybe it's just me. Give me a second, guys. All right, hold on 1 second. I have my headphones on. Can you guys hear? You guys can't hear him, but you guys can hear me okay. All right, Brad, check your mic settings. Go to the cam mic settings and see if you can turn on your audio and see if that might fix it up. But we'll get going here in just a second. So while Brad is working on his audio to make sure that we can hear him just fine, I'm going to bring on my second guest, which he's a new community member to me. I've not really talked to them except for today. And Juan Pablo is an amazing community member that just completed his Outrun mod. You guys might have seen it in some of the different Facebook groups. Brad, I think we can hear you now. Talk.
Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
There you can? Oh.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Yeah, but I think it's the headset that you have down. That's the mic that's working right now.
That's the mic that's working. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
You're a little hot too if you can turn it down. But you're sounding good. All right, but I'm about to introduce my second guest. Thanks for hanging in tight. Juan Pablo, and I'm not going to say your last name. I'm going to bring him on. Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, how are you?
Good. You're sounding good. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the next level. Again, I've only been doing this for about 2 months now, but you are probably the reason why I created this show. So I can have an excuse to talk to talented modders and community members that are doing super awesome things. That people come to me and they know me from my Star Wars mod or from my Outrun mod that I thought was cool, but it's literally nothing compared to what you're able to accomplish with just your vision, your mind, your creativity. I think so many people were really excited. I'm going to bring up some pictures of it in a little bit. So Juan is here. We're going to talk a little bit about his mod. And hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the process from hearing from both of these guys who have put so much time and effort into their builds. I think all of us are modders at heart and love kind of sharing with each other. So today's going to be a chill stream to kind of collaborate, chat. The chat is here. We have 38 people in chat that are here waiting to say hello. And if you guys have questions for Juan or Brad, let us know. But everybody's here. We're excited to get started. But I'm going to start with Brad because Brad, you and I have been talking about doing a shooting cab or at least collaborating and we've been working together on Star Wars for a long time. But when you started yes, and into the world of shooting cabs, you didn't want to wait for Arcade1Up. You wanted to just jump in and get started with it. So tell me about your vision of creating your ultimate gun cab, which you have behind you, the Aliens one, right?
Yeah. So this was actually just how's my audio here? We're good?
Yep. We can see you now.
So we've got this was a total giant leap of faith. Aliens Extermination was one of those games that was like, oh my god, I wish I could still have one of those at an arcade around here. I remember playing that game, and when I saw that you could play a ROM dump of it, I instantly wanted to go get an AimTrak and get that working, and I did. I got a Demal shooter my first time trying it about this time a year ago, and then I got in touch with you, started modding my Star Wars cab, which I got over here. But when GRS Solutions, Game Room Solutions, they made a shooter cabinet kit The second it came out, I just jumped on it. I just like, what did I just do?
Good? Yeah.
No, I had no idea what I was getting into. But yeah, no, actually, I didn't know anyone else who had gotten it yet. And I didn't know how to assemble it. I heard some horror stories about some of their products, but it came through. It wasn't so bad, putting it together. Yeah, then I just took the AimTraks that I had prototyped on my desktop and just plugged them in. And yes, boys and girls, if you like these graphics, they are now just being sold by Game Room Solutions. But I just made these in Photoshop, and yeah, it's been a learning process, that's for sure. You start with a couple games. MAME is super easy, but that's not really what brings in like the excitement. You want those new games like the Techno Parrot and the Taito Type X and all those crazy stuff, the Naomis and stuff. And so this started with 12 games, and now I'm up to 35. So, but they're really handpicked. You want to find games that are good for light guns that are on the tether. So kind of like the old like Time Crisis, Lethal Enforcer, that kind of thing. Right. So, and no, it's also been so great, like with the community, because every time you get a game working like with a light gun or with dual light guns, you're on the Reddit threads, the Emo Line forums, and you're in the Facebook groups, and you're like, oh my God, guys, I did it! You just have to tweak this INI file, and then you just it's really exciting, and it's kind of addicting. So.
Yeah, awesome. That's actually, really cool to hear your process of jumping in, kind of getting it started. And I love the fact that you curated your game list. A lot of folks out there that are modding cabinets and wanted a shooter cab are always kind of looking, what's the best image that has all the ROMs available and things. But especially with something like shooting cabs, it's not as easy as going to be plug and play with your settings. You have to use several programs like the Mole Shooter, right? So, I mean,
especially if you want the 2 players. A lot of gun games will let you emulate a mouse, but if you want 2 players, and who wants to like play a 2-player, it was made for 2 players, Yeah, right? I mean, come
on. Yeah, and so, that's why I coined you or dubbed you the Gun King, because you started looking at all these harder to play games to get set up with 2 things like Time Crisis 5 and other things.
Oh God, Time Crisis 5, I had no idea. I just stumbled on a forum when the ROM dumped, and I think it dumped like that week or something, and you could play it with a mouse, but even if you like emulated a mouse with like an AimTrak, it would just go all over the place immediately. So it was this frantic, like, who can be the first one to get it to work? And a couple of the guys were tweaking. It was a real collaborative effort. But my channel blew up when I was like, oh, look, I got it working with an AimTrak, thinking like everyone had done that already. But no, that was a lot of fun, really exciting.
Trailblazing, man. That's awesome. So yeah, I have aspirations. I actually got a couple of AimTraks months ago. So I have also personally planned to do exactly what you did, is build a GRS shooting cab. And Bobby Vu's not here, but me and Bobby Vu were actually collaborating and working on a gun cab that was gonna use AimTraks. And I know you have Sindens on the way too, right? Are you gonna convert over to Sinden?
Yeah, me and everyone have Sindens on the way.
On the way, right?
Yeah, actually, it's been so long now that I'm really excited to play with them. But I actually think I might start with a completely other PC and just prototype the Sindens, because it is not going to be a direct drop-in. The AimTraks, they run native in Windows. They're just mouse kind of emulators, and they're very unintrusive. But Sindens, they have a whole software suite that has to go with them. Right. And while I'm pretty sure I can translate almost everything, there's a certain number of games that, like Star Trek Voyager, I have that running in a Linux VM. And there is no way that I'm going to get the Sinden software to put a border on top of a virtual machine. So it's going to be a learning process there. But rather than wreck the very fragile, like, Jenga tower that is my shooter cab, I'm probably going to start with a different PC and just baby my way into the Sindens.
That's good. Good, smart idea, especially with new tech. And that's really what excites me about the Arcade1Up community, is the new tech, right? Like, people will ask me, like, how come you don't get every Arcade1Up? It's like, well, a lot of Arcade1Ups are reskins or using the same controls with different things, but light gun cabs, the driving cabs, that's why I jumped onto OutRun. That's why I jumped onto Big Buck and the pinball machines, because they're unique, they're fun to tinker with. And,
you go to the arcades now, the few you find, and the things they can still draw people in are those unique cabinets. You don't go to the arcade and find like a stick and buttons anymore. It's because you can do all that better at home.
This is so true. All right, Juan, do you have aspirations to get into a shooting cab at some point? I see you have Big Buck in your background, but in terms of building your own cab, right over there. How do you like that cab? Do you enjoy it? Is it pretty stock at this point?
It's a great game. I like the technology on it, but it needs some work. It needs some
It
work.
needs some work.
It needs some
Yeah.
work. And I mean, it's just too small. It's just
Mm-hmm.
too short. It needs a
Mm-hmm.
racer, and a bigger monitor will help a lot. So I might attack on it and make it something with bigger monitor and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if what you do with Outrun and other things, I can't wait to see what you do with other style cabs too. So we'll definitely get into kind of your other mods and things as well, because you have several in the background that you've worked on that, like you mentioned, that 1943, a tapper. Oh my God, like it's so beautiful. And so the things that you can do with an Arcade1Up frame, all of us have a passion for like turning things into something else, and you epitomize that with your Outrun mod. So folks that haven't seen it, just I'm kind of bouncing around all over the place because I have two guests and I want to talk about everything. But it just, for folks that don't know Juan Pablo's mod and what we're talking about, I'm going to share my screen just to give you guys a snapshot of what he did, because we'll move to the side a little bit, Juan, so we can see it. Can people see it? Yeah, you can kind of see it in the background there. Oh my God. It's gorgeous. All right, let me just make you big really fast. Let me change to this, and look at this, guys.
Wow.
In person, beautiful. When I saw this, my mouth dropped. But let me just do a quick screen share so you guys can see. Hold on 1 second. Select window, share screen. Peace. Okay. Entire screen. Okay. Allow. All right. So can you guys see the Facebook group? Yeah. All right. I think you guys are looking at it. Okay. Yeah. There you guys. You can see it. So let me make this big. Okay. So here's I'm looking at the Facebook group, the official Arcade1Up Global fan page, and Juan Pablo dropped this yesterday, and already it has 352 engagements of likes and wows and hearts and 110 comments. This has to be, this year at the least, one of the most liked posts that I've seen in any of the different social media groups that I've seen for Arcade1Up. I mean, this was absolutely gorgeous when you dropped it out. I mean, you had been doing some of the build pictures, but this reveal that you did yesterday, I'm pretty sure it had almost every single person's jaw on the floor. Like, this is absolutely gorgeous. And we're looking at this like close-up pictures of it, but I had to get in touch with you, talk to you about this, because I've been obsessed with modding my own Outrun cab, and I thought I did a pretty decent job, and people didn't see. I tried to quote unquote pimp my ride and put my own chair into an Outrun cab, but I was pretty much slapping existing parts together, and I did nothing to the extent of the dashboard that you did, which is that's my favorite part, is the dashboard that you did. But there's so many gems in what you did, from the seat to the taillights to the actual graphics themselves. I have so many questions for you guys, but just check it out. If you haven't seen these in-person pictures, or not in-person pictures, these pictures on Facebook, check it out. Like his post. I think it. Oh, look, there's a 1943 in the background too, which got me really piqued in interest. But I think this is a contender. If there were something such as mod of the year, this would have my vote at least so far. But this is absolutely fantastic, my man. Like, I can't gush enough about what you did, and we're seeing a little mini tour of it right now. Let's
right. Yeah, I'm trying with my laptop here.
With your laptop, Cat? I gotta make you big again. Let's look at that, guys. Check it. Look at it in person. Okay, so first question. So this is a cosmetic mod, right? You didn't do anything to the internals this month? Okay.
Not yet.
So, all right. Tell me about your thought process. Let me just ask you that first question. Like, tell me about your vision and how you even started this.
Okay, mainly, well, I bought the original sit-down cabinet back in, I think it was one of the first ones that I actually bought in November. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I love OutRun. It's just one of the main games that I played back in the 80s. So, it just, for me, it's just the first driver cab. And, I always wanted to have one in my house, and also a Ferrari. So, I needed to have, as you can see, I have a collection of Arcade1Ups. So it was meant, I need to have it. But, as everybody else, it just, it just came short of my expectations, about the whole position and the
Mhm.
play in. So I started to think about how to mod it, how to make it, a little bit more natural. You say, I don't know, it's just more.
Yeah, you want to actually sit down and feel comfortable in a sit down, right? Because the bench
Ex-
seat, you're still leaning forward in it. It didn't recapture the arcade feel of sitting down behind the wheel, right?
exactly.
So, yeah.
So
So it looks like you lowered the bench. That's a custom seat that you did. I saw you put a riser onto it as well.
yeah,
So yeah, you did a lot to kind of get it to that in terms of the design phase, right?
let me point with the yeah, pretty much. I started with the backrest.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to have a backrest because
Mm-hmm.
the bench by itself didn't do it. So I started to design in the backrest,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wanted to make like the original Turbo Outrun. It was the standard edition, I think it was, because it was a deluxe edition. I think it was the one that you
Mm-hmm.
use as. I use more like the standard edition, that it has this armrest over the
Yeah.
sides and the gear level on it. So it was kind of after putting the backrest, it needed to have the armrest, and after that, it was the cabinet was just too short, so it needed to
Mm-hmm.
have a riser. So instead of a riser, it's kind of like a base that is shared with the bench. Actually, it's just a floor that I use,
Awesome.
so it's actually raised the whole way, so you never touch the floor on it. You can still,
Nice.
I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you can see, it has. I made a custom there to hold
The
the
actual pedals in
the
place.
pedals
Yeah, I
and
see.
the
Mm-hmm.
footrest for the left one over
Those
there,
aren't
so
the
it doesn't,
those
you
aren't the
know.
stock pedals, are they?
Those are the
Those
stock
look
pedals.
metal.
Yeah,
Did you
everything
paint
is,
them? Okay.
all
All
the
right.
hardware is stock. Yeah, they are
Wow.
really bad, but
Looks
they
clean,
are
right? Look at
plasticky as they can be. There's,
yeah,
yeah, you can
yeah,
do some stuff on it, but then again, I don't know if it's worth the effort.
yeah. What do
You
you
know,
think, Brad? Are you
I mean,
ever wanted to build a racing cab yourself?
I did, but now I'm like, man, how? I just want to come over and play hit.
Yeah, in terms of all the buttons and everything, since you're using stock stuff, most of it is just for show, right? The only functional things are the wheel, the shifter, and are the switches. Did you replace the micro switches to use the toggle switches instead?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Right here you have. Let me see. This is the This is just the start button.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually,
You rearranged it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, this one, it's actually the power button. And these
Mm-hmm.
guys, I still need to, as you can see, all the lights are off,
Mm-hmm.
because I still need to wire all the 12 volts for
Mm-hmm.
all the lights. And this is what it's gonna be. One is gonna be for mute, to mute
Mm-hmm.
all the volume, and
Mm-hmm.
another one is gonna be for turning on
The
and off
lights.
the lights as well.
Yes.
Exactly. And yeah, two
Uh,
more dummies, maybe for something else extra in
uh-huh.
the future. But
So
I think it needed to look more
So how
crowded
long were you working on this cabinet to get it to this
mhm.
state?
there. Between a month and 2 months.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Just
Looks
working,
it looks like
working on the weekends, and
Yeah.
it was, yeah. It's mainly just the most of the time that I spent, it was made, cutting, making the shapes of it, trying to make it look right. The same with all the vinyl. I did all the vinyl by myself. This is
Yeah.
all
Do you have a
rolls of
printer for
vinyl.
that?
You can see
Yeah.
that's all hand cut because it's all shaggy.
oh
And
yeah, it looks terrible. Yes.
It's terrible. You did horrible, man.
and same with the back. This is all quick cut, and I just laid every little piece in there and
Oh
tried to make
man,
a
that was
logo out of it. It just, you know, down here. These are just, I think it's I want to say 2 inches, 2 inches and a half trailer backlights that I have already for one of my trailers. So as soon as I found it, it just like, you know, they meant to be. I mean, same with this, the extra, as you can see,
The tail lights, the exhaust. I thought you got. It's coming off.
yeah, these are
Yeah.
1.5 PVC pipe, pretty much
Nice.
glued to a board, and
I thought I was cool with my OutRun like tail lights here, but like literally I just grabbed some lights and just taped it on. Like I did nothing.
I need my both hands to put it back together.
Yeah, I mean, and remember I used to have a big giant wing right here on mine, but it just took up too much space in my arcade, so I de-winged it because I couldn't have room for a spoiler since that was just more for the show. But man, it looks great. Brad, are you gonna be? I mean, you said that you wanted to get into racing. Is a racing cab in your future at all?
You know, I really do want to. I put together a launch box driving game, and then I pull out the old Logitech wheel and I bolt it to my computer desk and play it. But I do want the dedicated one as long as I have more space. So this time, in probably the end of this year, I'll be moving. And so by this time next year, I'm going to have that extra space, and I'm going to get all your inspiration, steal it, and like best of all worlds over there. So
I know, cool. Between Juan's technical aesthetics and stuff, and I have my Racecade build, which you're familiar with, Launchbox and stuff too. So I mean, we can do a lot with it. So that's kind of where I took the aesthetics, but I also really focused on, I put a PC in mine as well, just to kind of, at that point, it's not an Arcade1Up but a shell, but I have all the racing games I want to play, right? And some force feedback. So teach their own. But cool. I'm jumping all over the place, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the content, because I love chatting with two modders, and you know, I think it's just nice to feed off of each other. But I saw in chat that people really want to see your Aliens cab build. So we saw Brad's shooter. Which one? So you did too. What, like, let's get into the second one.
All right. Well, let's see here. So my second one is downstairs. So talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to switch cameras.
All right. I'm making you big, so we're gonna see it there. Yes, there she is. Look at that. I got my own. This is why I was waiting. Look. Okay, go ahead. You can talk now.
So, all right. Can everyone still hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Cool. So, this is these are a pair of actual arcade stock Aliens Extermination guns. They were reused on a ton of units, like your price.
Brad, the range on your audio might be a little bit low, so maybe
you gotta,
yes, stand on that side. There we go. We can hear you there.
So the
okay.
Yeah. So
are you switching audio? Now you just muted yourself. Brad's all over the place. He's just too excited. Did you mute yourself? You muted yourself. I can't even unmute you. He's too excited, but I think he's going to work on switching over his mic and stuff. But look, so he has his gun cart that he put together. It's an actual Aliens Extermination pedestal build that looks amazing. I think he's probably just going to show it off and come back and talk to it. But I think it was saying those guns aren't the replica guns that you get from AliExpress. Those are real, he said, new old stock guns that he got on eBay. So those are the legit Aliens Extermination guns that he was able to plug into a PC, get it working with the haptics and everything going on. So Brad, I'm talking for you because I know that you already have this. But while you're talking, because the reason why I brought Brad on to talk about this is I just got mine. So I have one here. I have one that's plugged into the back of one of my builds. So I'm really excited to just show off that there's so much you can do with these guns and games. Oh man, look at the numbers. Are you shooting something, or do you see the numbers on his guns are just going down by themselves? Maybe he's playing something else. But Brad, we need to get your audio back on. Another person that I wanted to talk about who's done pedestal builds is, after the show, we'll leave links to where I got my gun builds, because I'm eventually going to be building a gun cart too. But I wanted to invite another guest onto the show who couldn't make it. His name is Simon Thornton. He's all the way in the UK, and he sent me some pictures of his Aliens gun cart. So I'm gonna just share my screen and show off some of the pictures of his Aliens gun cart so you guys get some ideas of what you can do with these guns. So Brad, work on your audio, and while you do that, I'm gonna show off Simon's build right now. So I'm gonna get to sharing my screen again. So let's do the entire screen. All right, we're gonna go big. All right, so here's my screen, and here it is. So check this out, guys. This is another Aliens gun cart build by Mr. Simon Thornton, and he took the pedestal build to an extreme, much like Juan Pablo did with his gun cart. And Brad, not to say that your gun cart isn't fantastic and great, but look at the details on this Aliens gun cart, from the decals on each of the guns to the actual aliens decor across the top and bottom. Oh no, hold on, let me go back to it. Okay, look at this. It has the I forgot what it's called, the face sucker eater thingy like that. That's and he said he's been working on this over the last couple of months and just finished it in February. But this gun cart, what do you think, Juan Pablo? Does this look pretty cool?
Amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's actually that's on my bucket list. To make one of the aliens with those guns, but that's another level.
Yeah, right. Look at this.
Oh
the
yeah.
Yutani Corp. It looks good. I keep going off it, but look, here's just some more details. I'm just gonna scroll through.
And the promo, the chips. Oh my God. Yeah, that's amazing. All the little details. All
so many details
going on the sides. Oh my God.
It's kind of like what you were doing with like the custom. He said he was just using his cry cut like as well, just making custom little decals and things. I really wanted to get him on the show, but you can see that he built his own frame for everything. He has a projector, and so he can either use a projector or you can like plug it into. He has his games that he has set up using a custom build, so we can see this video of his build. So yeah, looking really fun. You can kind of, the cool thing about a cart, right, is that it's mobile, and Brad can talk about this too, that once you build a gun cart, you can play it on a bigger screen. You don't have to be stuck to one of the Arcade1Up monitors that's really tiny. So, I mean, this is just fantastic to see his build. And I have that's my gun cart there, but that's a little bit of Simon Thornton's stuff. And Brad, are you back with us?
I'm back.
You're back. All right. So what do you think of? I know you're really connected with Simon's build. Like, what do you think of Simon's build?
Oh, Simon is just the nicest guy. He is, and he goes out there. Like you saw, you guys were looking at the all the details that he put on his cart. And then he put a darn projector in the front of it to just project out on the screen. But yeah, no, he's nuts. He just starts crossing the wind. He's just like, I threw a bunch of games on there. I'm just kind of making them work as I go. And my questions, I'll let you guys know. So yeah, he's a great guy. I think I fixed my audio. I'm going to run back downstairs.
Okay, cool.
You guys can hear what's going on down there. So
all right, let's go, Gun King. Let's do it. Let's get him back on. But are you inspired, Juan Pablo? Is this giving you some ideas? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've been looking on these guys on these guns as well, but yeah, I'm still, it's a high budget build, so it's one of the ones that I'm been pushing for later, and because it needs a lot of you need to start from scratch pretty much. This is just a build up from something that's all from scratch, but those are just amazing. And those are the best. There's the other version that you have, the ones that come with a pink and a light blue guns that are just, I don't know how good are those.
They glow. I've seen them, but yeah, the black ones are looking awesome. All right, Brad, we can see you running Aliens Extermination there. You got double fisting going on. Give me some sound bites. There you are.
We're going to go double full auto. Get that door open.
Oh my God, you can hear the recoil, man. Look at that. And then, so the guns themselves, the stocks, I think they work with Aliens Extermination, and is it Far Cry?
It's Far Cry, and a lot of people say that there's a House of the Dead 4, but that 3-in-1, the House of the Dead 4 doesn't support the recoil. So I have Far Cry in here as well. And it's funny because Far Cry actually sends a completely different kind of recoil. It's a much like thud, or like dun 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 dun. It's actually
interesting.
They can customize that. But
cool.
A lot of the other games on here are, I try to point towards more of the the ones you saw that were the pedestal guns, like Terminator 2 and stuff like that.
Railgun style, yeah.
But here's for example, this is LA machine guns running on the Supermodel.
Sega Model 2, yes.
Yeah.
Or for 3, Sega Model 3.
3, yeah, Supermodel,
Yes.
so 3. So this is another one that's awesome because it has an in-game calibration for the X and Y. So like Demal Shooter, for example, is really meant for AimTrak, and you don't get the full X and Y movement with them. But games that have the in-game gun calibration, like LA Machine Guns or Gunblade in New York, those work really well with these. And when you're ready to wire yours up, I am totally gonna, help you out with that.
But recoil doesn't work though, right? Since it's not like programmed for it. So this is just straight shooting, right?
Yes. So Model 2 and Model 3 actually work better with these than they do with AimTrak because Demal Shooter doesn't care much about Supermodel. So, but if we get these working here,
cool.
Choose a level, and we save the president or whatever they're saying. Come on.
Yeah, this is me usually playing this game with my Star Wars yoke, which is also fun, but nothing like having a big old gun, right? But like, I love playing these games with my yoke.
Friends like me, I don't have any friends. It's just fun to double fist these things.
Yeah.
So.
And you can hear the audio, like it does have a recoil. I can't remember if the real arcade game did, but man, that would be so cool to like be able to is it possible to ever code recoil stuff, or is that just going to be hard?
That is a good question, right? It is custom firmware that the global VR games use to send to these control boards, and maybe we know that it's not an open source kind of thing because, like in Aliens Extermination, for example, when you run out of ammo, you have a pistol, and the guns know to have single shot recoil versus as soon as you pick up ammo, it goes back to full auto recoil. So the games are the ones telling the guns what to do. And now, if you want, you of course can just go in and rewire the solenoids to just go off whenever you pull the triggers. If you really want to mod them.
That's what Ricky was just saying. Can you hook up the recoil to just go off when you pull the trigger instead?
Of course you can, yeah. You will lose some of that smart functionality in the games. And right now, that's been kind of like the holy grail is don't mess with Aliens Extermination. Do whatever you want with these guns, but I always wanted like the signature game to always
be working. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Somebody was asking, can you pick them up or are they fixed down? So yours are attached down, right? Like they're like bolted into the pedestal. Like the whole cab is, you can move the pedestal, but the guns themselves are bolted down, right?
So the I got some boxes covering up the base here, but it's on casters. And I just, roll the sucker around and pull it out. You can put it up to any television you want. And actually, a fun little note is because I'm giving this back to my brother, I put on a couple buttons on the sides here, and now it also plays pinball games. So
add 5 buttons to any cab, and you have instant pinball. So
yeah, right. I mean, why not, right? So
you got to do 2 buttons so you can have a nudge too, man. If you're gonna do it, might as well go all out.
I know, right? Nudge. For now, I'm just using this to nudge. So the joystick. So, but yeah. So
come on, Brad. If you're gonna do it, add that
I know if
extra
you're gonna
button.
do it right? But I only had this back for my brother for a week. So I've got 62 games on it right now, and that 20. I put on about 20 pinball tables. So just for good measure for my brother and his kids. So
fun. Alejandro in chat says he has the red and blue guns, and so the ones that you can get from AliExpress, there's like you were saying, Juan Pablo, there's a red and blue version, and some of them actually, yes, but they also come with a board themselves that can plug into its own like mini PC, right? So you don't have you're running a full PC mod that you set up. But the ones that are
those are the ones that are in a kit. Those are the ones we call the 3-in-1 kit, and
3-in-1 kit.
They come with the I/O board and kind of the dedicated. They just play these 3 games. The ones I've got are USB, and if you plug them into a Windows computer, they're just seen as analog joysticks.
Yeah.
So, good enough. If you play a global VR game like Far Cry or Aliens, you don't set them up. It just detects the guns immediately.
That's
so
cool.
even if you don't have the 3-in-1 kit, if it's just the USB ones, it's like, oh yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah. Nice, very cool. I've seen some people talking about using that, making a pedestal build, and then eventually maybe adding. What are your thoughts about? Because now you have a dedicated like shooting cab, and now you have a dedicated railgun cab. But most people don't have the luxury of space like you do to be able to have 2 separate ones. Like, what do you think about doing an all-in-one? Is that something that you would consider?
Actually, funny enough, that was actually my plan. The Aliens guns were a a freak out purchase. I saw them on eBay and I jumped on because I had just gotten this cab together and the AimTrak calibration was balls. It did not work at all. And I panicked and I thought, screw it, forget the AimTraks. I'm going to put the railguns on here and I'm going to put some kind of like flip up tray system or something to get the railguns on here. And between buying the Aliens guns and them arriving, I realized that I had the sensor bar upside down for the AimTraks. And once I fixed that, the AimTraks were actually working really good. So when the Aliens guns came in, I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do something different with these. And I'm kind of glad I did because the Pedestal is just, it's a lot of fun, you know?
Yeah, you can play on a bigger screen too, and it's
you can play it on any size screen you want. And it's funny how many people, like when I put the video up on YouTube, thought they were light guns, and like, how are you getting that to work? I'm like, no, they're just big joysticks. It's like when Retro Ralph was playing with the giant Pac-Man. It's the same thing.
Exactly. I mean, I used to have when I first modded my Star Wars to plug in as an analog controller, and I realized that if we could replicate a railgun system. The shooting game genre definitely started to appeal to me because obviously you've done a yoke mod, so that's what I've been enjoying so far. I've not had the benefit of doing anything recoil yet, but man, I'm so pumped to get this going. I have like, I don't know what to put it on yet, guys, but like it's here. I have like you said, it's just an analog stick. This is controlling my menu up and down right now on my big box build. So like you said, we can do Alien, you can do pretty much anything that uses an analog positional.
So what you need is an ironing board. And set those up. That was plan A. It was just have something to fold it out like an ironing board. So I went and got an ironing board. And, but whatever works, right?
Yeah. Let me see, because like this is my first time playing this on stream. But yes, I can pull the trigger, and I can be shooting towards you. It doesn't matter because it's not a light gun for people, right?
Yeah.
So
and MAME is pretty great because MAME, like with your Star Wars, MAME will just auto calibrate if you just swing it around. So
I'm just moving it right now. I'm not even. I'm playing the game by watching the stream right now, as you can see on my back screen.
And it's Alien 3: The Gun, which was just the worst.
I don't think anybody's seen this, but watch. I'm shooting you guys right now, but I'm playing the game. Who's ever played it like this before? Backwards, Aliens the gun, backwards with an analog gun. No idea if you ever want to do this, but it's fun.
Breaking down.
It worked already because this has what two? Yours has 2 buttons. Is that it? It's just or 3 buttons. Trigger, the top button,
trigger makes
and then
3.
this one, right?
Yeah.
Trigger makes 3. Yeah, so fun. But right now it's jamming into my leg, so I definitely got to mount it on.
No, there's a stupid number of bolts and stuff coming out of the bottom. Actually, check this out. If you look at how many holes I had to drill in the pedestal.
Show me. Wow.
It was cheese, man.
Juan, do you have progress pics of your build or kind of anything for when you put it together, or tell me about your design phase, because like kind of like Brad and me, like I don't go into modding with a big vision. I just kind of go plan it. But I found like with your background, I figured, did you blueprint it? Did you like design it and measure, or did you just go at it and like as you went? You really, that was all just by scratch, like as you go?
Pretty much. I didn't take any notes whatsoever. It's just mainly just drawing over the boards and then cutting the boards and putting them, with clamps in place and see if they, fit nice. And then after that, building from there. It's just pretty much the only thing I was using as reference is such a picture in my laptop of the original OutRun cabinet, and try to make it look similar because, the dimensions are not the same. So, you cannot use it. It's just kind of like something that looks the same, kind of the same feeling, building from there. And just found the taillights, and I thought it was at the beginning it was gonna be just a hardboard there, but after that, finding those taillights, I mean, I needed to make it look like kind of like a Ferrari from back in the day. For me, it looks more like something
it's
else.
So cool. Yeah, I mean the slant of it, like.
And after that,
I don't think people have seen it. Can you go over there and sit in it so we can see? see like your positioning in it, because all the pictures are of the cab itself, but like you raised it. I want to see it. Like, can you sit all the way back and then get it? So yes, yeah, there he is. How tall are you, Juan?
I'm 6 foot tall in my
6 foot tall.
Good day.
All right. All right. Look at that. He looks
Let's
comfy.
say
So
5'11",
me too.
230 pounds. So I'm a heavy guy, as you can see. I'm a heavy guy, and this it's pretty solid, as you can see. And yeah,
He's all the way in, comfy.
It's just I need to screw it into the not screw. I just right now I've just been doing some later, but yeah,
nice. It looks. That's the natural position you need to be at. Like the see. Oh wow, the I didn't know the steering wheel moves up and down.
Yeah,
telescoping.
So you get different people, and at the same time you need to stand up to move the seat.
Exactly, move it back. Okay, so you can adjust it. Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's bad. Well, you look so comfy, but yeah, so he has to lift the right. So the problem with the bench, right, is that you were just at the wrong seated angle. You were kind of too high to have your feet underneath it, but you know, he has his feet all the way inside the pedal. The wheel is kind of comfortably finally up above, and he's leaning all the way back, which is how you want to be playing. And then he has his hand comfortably on that shifter, man. Like, that looks freaking fantastic. We're finally getting some like live gameplay, because I mean, we've seen the pictures, but you look so comfy and fun. Who put a 1 in the chat if you want to go to Juan Pablo's house and try to get a. I'm putting a 1 in here because I need to make my way down to the East Coast and make a visit sometime. But man, not only did you do an awesome job here, but your arcade is looking really cool too. Like,
yeah, I know. I gotta see some of these things you got going on in here.
We're ready for the tour whenever you're ready, man. Like, show us the rest of the goods.
All right.
So you want to switch to the other? You gonna take that one? Or you gonna switch over? You good?
I think it has a better picture than the cell phone. I don't know about.
Okay, yeah. If you can, go ahead, take it with you.
That's just an old iPhone, and it just.
He's taking us with them for a ride. Let's go.
Here I have the odd guys.
The Legends Ultimate, yeah. Arcade.
And
there you go.
Arcade. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of right now. This is actually my dining room of my house. I'm actually building the game room and new workshop in the house, but it's taking longer through the pandemic and everything. You know, right now it's a little bit more expensive, all the materials. So right now we're still. I'm doing the arcade in the living room. Sorry, in the dining room. So my wife. But you know, it's just hopefully for a couple of more months. So that's why it's kind of not all the way set up as an arcade. You can see I have the dining light. But anyway,
it's awesome. All right, give us a tour. All right, that 1943. Tell us about it, man. We got to know about it. Look at that. Those are flight sticks.
Exactly. Yeah, these are the flight sticks. I have modern. They have kind of like a force feedback built in the. I don't know if you can hear it. It's just really.
Are those just the 8-way kind of
micro?
They're not the Ultimark flight sticks, right? Those are the ones that have the vibrating feature. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it has some, you know, and I built in a couple of transducers just to have it more. Let's see. Yeah.
I love that you use the toggle switches for everything. Look at that.
Right. Well, yeah, I bought them all in Amazon, and I thought, you know, kind of like they look amazing.
I gotta plug in my laptop. I forgot that I'm gonna lose battery soon. Oh no! I'll be back. I forgot to plug in. Hold on. Hopefully I can do this before you lose.
Did you do all the graphics on this yourself too?
No, these graphics are from Tyler in graphics something.
They look great.
Right.
And the marquee too, and the bezel. That's a whole package there.
Right. Yeah. I built the marquee myself, but the whole package, it came from Arcade Graphics.
Okay.
I just saw them there, and I needed to have it. I mean, I needed to build the after seeing the graphic, I needed to build this cabinet, and this one it's running.
It looks like a glossy vinyl too. It looks good.
Yeah. On the sides is glossy, and right here on the CP, it's just really kind of.
I'm back. Did I miss much?
So
You
you
guys
don't
handle
need
it without
the
me.
protector.
Go away, B. We're talking.
Oh, sorry. Let me just remove myself from the stream.
Oh man. So all right. So how many other cabinets you got in that room there, Juan?
Let's see. Around 20 some. Let's see. Here we have the.
Sorry, I'm doing all this rearranging. There we go.
It's still all of these are original, not mod. Maybe kind of some graphics going on. Just more. I think it's. I want to say around 20.
Around 20. Wow.
I don't want to heat my wife here, but yeah, around 20, I'll say.
Show us the custom size ones. You actually like you made 3/4 scale. I see the DK. You made an MK2, and is that a Capcom? Like, did you make those from scratch, like the side panels?
No, these are actually Gen 1. Let me see.
Those are Pac-Mans?
No, this one is a Pac-Man. The DK is a Pac-Man, and these two are Gen 1 Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. These are actually, it's moving there, but because I just plug it off. Sorry, it's just this is Gen 1 Arcade1Up that I cut the side inside the. So this is the actual Gen 1.
It looks so much better.
Yeah. How did you do the back part? Like, did you have to make it shorter? Is that why?
Yes.
Like. Yeah,
exactly. And
okay.
The custom rights, I think it's about 2 inches shorter, and you can see maybe with the.
I see it. So you cut the back part to make it shorter, but you slanted the screen though, so that way you don't have to.
And the panel too.
Yeah.
Exactly, and the control panel too. Yeah, it's a little bit slanted, and
it's so genius. And did you just use the extra parts of the MDF that you cut off for that side part? Is that just reusing parts that you cut off?
Yeah. No. These are the whole cabinet is the original cabinet. The only thing I added is this MDF, and it's covered with stickers that I made in the pre-cut, pretty much. It's over the original one, just to make it look kind of like the. And this is just the cheap. The
eclipse buttons, that
I just painted the interior to make it look like eclipse.
And you did the same thing with the Capcom cabinet. Like, those are fantastic, man. Like, I wish
kind of like with the dynamo shape, even with the setback.
Oh wow, you even cut out the back part too. That's so awesome. Man. I wish legacy cabs look like this. Like, who needs a legacy cab when you can build your own, man? This looks amazing. So, what are you running on those? Are you running the stock stuff, or did you put pies in them? Like, what did you end up doing?
Well, I haven't finished them yet. I'm trying to because they don't have the power button and volume and all that stuff. And so it kind of right now they're not running anything. I think this one has the Arcade1Up little Pac-Man plug just to test it out. This one, it had the original PCB, but it died last week.
Oh no! Yeah. And the control panel on the Capcom, did you just cut it to make that angle, or did you add anything to it? That's
the original one, and I covered with the corners that I cut off it. I made the little holes to cover the speaker.
The speaker grill.
And here the holes for the power button and volume are covered with the extra of the original, and they are cut right on the side. And it has, as you can see, it have I think
the coin door,
audio rhythmic lights.
Oh, so when you hear the speaker, that's when it moves.
Yeah. Exactly. That's la 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 la. La 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 la.
So that means you're singing while you're playing, man. That's that's so
Pretty
cool.
much. When the game is running, you can actually.
What about the
It's
coin door?
giving you
Did you
the
make it?
same with the
That just
coin door. It changed the
yeah.
lights.
Oh man, that is so creative. Again,
And
really
and they
simple.
are
Like
all in custom risers that I made to look like they were.
so, it's flush. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. These are just need to be moved back a little bit,
Yeah.
but you can see where. And the same, and Donkey Kong here is running. I think it's a Raspberry Pi 3. It has the slanted screen inside. Running here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this one was the button masher,
Mm-hmm.
something like
Oh
that.
yeah, Stevie M's button masher. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And this one is the next one I'm gonna try to finish with T molding.
Did you?
I just received white T
Yeah.
molding, and I have a new bezel that it's actually like the original one. I'm gonna make it out of glass.
So cool. So wait,
Yeah.
did you say that this used to be a Pac-Man? How did you cut out the shape of the cab? Did you use?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
it's the same thing. The cab end up being smaller.
uh-huh.
And actually, these graphics are also from Arcade Graphics, and they are
Uh-huh.
made for the regular Arcade1Up.
Oh, and you just cut it to shape.
Yeah, pretty
Wow.
much.
You
That's
can
why
make
it's
your own
so up there
Nintendo.
in the corner, but I was able to make it like the graphics still being there in the cabinet. I mean,
You
and
get the official seal of approval from Bobby Vu, who says "clean like a mother." Yeah, Bobby, look at this inspiration. He's
clean, clean,
taking
clean.
actual. He's taking Arcade1Up side panels and just shaping them, like using the real panels themselves. Like you're not just making that from scratch. That's mind blowing that you're able to turn that and like using your vision for that. I think you just have a great mind to be able to envision transforming something into that shape. But that's kudos, man. That's
Thanks.
amazing that you're able to do this. I think a lot of people are, and then we have some people that are saying, Arcade1Up needs to hire Juan to design their cabs. Like we had some legacy cabs that just came out recently, right? But what's that? Is that the tapper?
That's
The
the tapper right here. Yeah. This is
That
a multicade, just because I wanted to recreate the tapper as much, but as the original, but just the tapper CP is just for the tapper, right? So you only can play if I made it like the original tapper, you can only play tapper with the tabs replacing. So I transform it with a multicade with a Pi 4.
Of course. But yeah, I mean, that's so cool. Like you have it here. WKRP Cincy says, Modder of the Year. You have my vote, man. Sorry, Brad. I mean, you're still hashtag Gun King. You can have that. So Juan hasn't touched gun games yet. So you still have a leg up on him until he gets to it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on his way. He's coming for it.
As soon as he gets the gun cap going, then I can't wait to see what you do. Oh, what do you have in there? Is that a fridge?
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
It's Tapper holding the beer. That's freaking genius. I've seen people just. Is it wine? Is it actual beer? He's like a nice. Yeah.
It's cold beer. These are.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, imported.
Patrick's
it's
saying
actually
it right
the leftovers. These are the ones that nobody likes. That's why they are still here.
This is the epitome of next level. Absolutely, I completely agree. That wins right there for sure. So cool. I'm so glad that we got to see the mini tour of everything. And you said it was your dining room, but you actually made the space work out well, where you have an island, and you have some of your cabs. I like how you shaped the way you can walk around your cabs to make it feel like an arcade. I'm gonna have to steal some ideas because I'm running out of space. I just tried to turn on most of my cabs for the first time. I hosted a show a couple weeks ago, and I've never turned on all my arcades. So I finally just put a PC back into my Star Wars cab, have my Outrun cab up and running again for the first time in a long time. So seeing you is definitely inspiring. I think I will get back into the aesthetics of why we do 3/4 scale arcades. Let me ask you this, because I'm sure many people ask you this all the time. If you have the skills to build your own stuff, like why are you sticking with modding Arcade1Ups instead of building from scratch? Like I'm sure you get that question all the time.
I do, and I actually I make myself that question all the time. Actually,
Mhm.
it's kind of like if you think about it, it's kind of the cost is almost there. It's maybe to make it a whole. But the truth is, these are better for me for the home environment. You can, as you can see, just you can put 20 of these
You
guys
can
where
really stack them in
you
there.
put
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 of the big guys.
I mean, yeah,
And
Arcade1Up was a genius when they came up with this scale. They call it 3/4 scale. I'm not sure if it really is, but it is perfect for home scale.
Hmm. Where you can actually replicate having that feel of an arcade at home with 3 or 4 of these. Once you get, 2 is fine, but you get like 3 or more and you start stacking them on the wall, like very quickly, you could be like at a convenience store, like a video store or something. Like when you have at least 3 arcades next to, you're at an arcade now. So we've all been able to relive the dream of having an at-home arcade and understand that if you have the talent, like a Juan, like a Brad, you can go further. You can, if you can vision it, you can dream it, you can make it happen. Let me know if you guys have any questions in chat, guys. This has been so fun talking to Juan and Brad for the last hour or so. We have tons of comments in here that are just amazed at Juan and your talent. You have a couple of, it says, Hollywood Polo says, we need a weekend at Juan's.
Oh, I second that.
we can arrange that. This is a farm in the middle of countryside, so this is
Oh,
a
that's
cattle ranch. So
fantastic.
there's a lot of things to do outside as well.
Oh, fantastic.
We have a lot of visits from kids coming over the weekends. We have rescue animals on here, so we have all kinds of families coming, friends, and so it's great to have this, and you have always kids playing here over the weekends. And the good thing about the arcades is they only play for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
half an hour, and that's perfect. You know what I
And
mean?
these are great. They're drop in, you play for a few minutes, and you're out. It's not like some PlayStation epic, role playing game that you have to
Exactly.
put hundreds of hours in. And that's when a lot of people are modding these cabinets, and they put like the pies in them that have a bunch of console games. It somehow defeats some of the purpose of just jumping in and playing. And I'm out of quarters, I'm out. So
Yeah, and besides, it's not the same kind of gaming. For the kids, even for them, it's just more like a museum or a different experience. More
Yeah.
they don't take it like real video games. And
Yeah,
so
they don't
for me, it's a
appreciate the
nostalgic
point.
thing. Going back, I always wanted like a Richie Rich. Have my own arcade in my house. So this is the version that we can afford, if you will. So.
DJ's asking, what was the first cab you modded, Juan?
and
It
when?
was Tapper.
It was Tapper?
Was
That
the
was your first
one.
cab?
Yeah.
And you said maybe
no,
last year?
I'm lying. The first one was the Final Fight, and it was only kind of adding on the graphics and then joysticks and from there to have the multi-K.
It's a slippery
Actually,
slope.
it's a funny story. I was able to get last year a whole pallet of Walmart returns from Shen ones that they were
Oh, wow.
destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 12 cabinets for the price of one of the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
That's a nice way to have stock.
They were too many, and I don't like to sell stuff. I didn't buy them to resell them. It's kind of I still have a couple of them actually. That's the MK that came with. That's another Street Fighter that came, and mainly these guys were Pac-Mans and those two as well. So all the Shen ones came that way, and I started to fix them up. As I tried to fix them up, they had scratches all over. So
we have a funny question from Ritual Dello that says, my question for Juan is, where did you find a wife that would allow that? Do you have a very understanding significant other? Because I think we all do when we get into this madness and craziness.
She gets me. I mean, she knows I'm a little bit crazy, and sometimes I do these kind of things. And so far we can always came up good. So she trusts me somehow. No, not really, because she doesn't know about this guy right here, and I have the marble to the pinball.
The hockey table. Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
That's
the games.
Oh, you
got
just got the
Legend
ad
Pro
game
there.
Legend.
Yeah, just received the ad
Legend
game
pinball.
pinball right here. I need to put it together, and the marble pinball as well.
Okay.
And the marble
Everything's
base
slowly
from
stacking
Best
closer
Buy
and
as
closer
well.
to the front door.
So
Creeping out
yeah,
of
I
the
think
dining
she's
room.
watching the live stream right now. So she might be.
What are those boxes? The things that we all have to explain when they show up in front of the door. But man, what a hobby that we have and that we share with each other, that we're able to enjoy this at our homes. And then obviously in this pandemic, it's been hard to get out and go visit the places that we love. So the creativity for people that have, if you can't go there and you can build it, I love seeing what's come out of the community. And I hope to continue talking to more people like you and like Brad on future shows. It literally is the reason why I put together the show called The Next Level, is that I can have excuse to just talk to folks that are absolutely a pleasure. So Juan, Brad, it's been an absolute pleasure. We have a lot of folks here that are asking, are you running a vacation nurture site in Europe or something? I think we have somebody who's in Germany that's really, really excited to just see all the stuff that's going on. He says the arcade museum and the nature vacation is a great concept. But yeah, the farm and arcades. Who knew, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They go together. I'm actually an IT nerd from like maybe most of the guys around here, that I went a little bit rogue and kind of we left Silicon Valley 6 years ago, and we went to live in Knoxville, Tennessee. So kind of, from one side to the other. We wanted to try the other side of the apple, if you want, And I started to making woodworking, carpentry, and then later house flipping. Not house flipping, sorry. It's just more house renovations. Kind of like I have OCD, and kind of the same thing that I do, in the arcades, I do in the houses. So, and I started the arcades mainly just because I wanted to build something smaller in my garage, kind of with electronics and stuff. So the arcades are just
cool.
Yeah.
Well, you've made the dream come true, not only for yourself, but many people in chat that were able to kind of witness and hear your journey with you. So I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody in chat that's been joining us. We're over an hour of time. I'm not going to take up much more of your time, but just want to say thank you again. Juan, pleasure speaking with you. I'm sure we'll be chatting again sometime soon. Brad, always a pleasure, Gun King. Maybe I'll call you OutRun King or something else. We got to come up with a name for Juan now, right, Brad? I mean, It's just Modder of the Year sounds appropriate to me too. But stick around right afterwards, guys. I want to follow up with you. Let me know. Modder of the Year. Let's hold a contest, guys. All right. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.